Yes, this is very much a historic visit because what we're seeing here is continuing making of inwards by the state of Israel to the Muslim world and specifically to countries in Africa. And because of the fact we have a country like Chad, which is deciding to put its own interest first and the Palestinians' interest second, means that we can now make even more inroads to other countries around the world.
Why do you think Chad decided to renew diplomatic ties with Israel after so long, more than 40 years?
Well, it's pretty funny. Today we're marking 2 years for the Trump administration, which he always said America first. And I think what we've seen in the last decade is that many African countries, including Chad, have always said Palestine first, Palestine first. But what that resulted in is that their country has continued to be last. And I think what Chad is looking for from Israel is, first off, to help Chad give a solution to its many internal problems, whether it be technology, water, medicine, everything that it needs to get to the 21st century. So on the one hand, Chad wants to continue to be part of the Muslim world, but first of all, it wants to improve the world it has internally.
Now, there are 7 other Muslim sub-Saharan states that do not at the moment have ties with Israel, such as, for example, Mali and Sudan. Do you think they'll follow suit, or indeed other Muslim countries outside of Africa?
Yeah, I think that's a very good question. I think that since the 2 months that have passed since Debbie has visited Israel, we've heard a lot of protests, even from the Palestinians, even from Iran. But I think that the most of the voices that Chad heard were behind the scenes. I think that Chad and Debbie got lots of support behind the scenes by Muslim and Arab countries telling them, listen, continue on what you're doing because we're about to do the same. And we need you to make the first step to doing it with Israel because soon after we'll be coming next.
Chad, of course, borders with both Libya and Sudan. Both countries have in the past been historically very anti-Israel. It is a strategically important country for Israel, isn't it?
Yes, I think that one of the things that the problems that Chad faces, and we even heard it during the press conference today, is that they're facing a lot of Islamic terrorism. One of the groups is Boko Haram. They also have the ISIS operating in their midst. Many of the ISIS fighters also are coming from Libya, and actually we found many weapons belonging to terrorists in the Gaza Strip that were smuggled from Libya after the regime of Gaddafi fell. So in the end, the fact that Chad will be fighting even stronger with the help of us, intelligence-wise, even weaponry-wise, these Islamic terrorists, this would also improve the security of the State of Israel.
Now, relations between Israel and Black Africa were very friendly until the 1973 Yom Kippur War, when the Arab petrol embargo kicked in. And today's visit by the Prime Minister is only the latest step of Israel renewing those friendly ties. Why do you think it took Israel so long to return to Africa?
Well, I think that, and Netanyahu has always said Africa is now returning to Israel and Israel is returning to Africa. I think that for decades we have been in Africa, but pretty much informally and behind the scenes. I think that now Israel has reached a level in terms of its power, and Africa has reached a point where it really needs solutions. And if you look around the world, Israel is a supermarket of ideas, of technologies which can help Africa move to the 21st century. Take, for example, oil. Many Arab countries and Muslim countries, including Chad, which are dependent on oil, are looking for other ways to invest in different technologies so that they don't wake up one morning without oil and just a desert. And if there's one country in the world which has proven that it can move ahead and build itself without being dependent on a natural resource, it's Israel. So Israel has many secrets, and Chad has now realized that the secret is out, and they want to be part of it.